everybody, wonderful readers of the Florentine and friends all around the world who love Florence. We're here this evening with my friend Eric and I'm sure many of you will know Eric. He is the managing director of Villa Medicea di Lilliano, a magnificent place up in the Florence Hills, Medici Villa, and it's a roaring success. So thank you, Eric, for joining us this evening.
It is my pleasure, Helen. Super nice seeing you again.
I know, and hopefully, we will be together in real life very soon. But in the meantime,
absolutely.
I mean, what you've been doing up at Villa Medicea di Lilliano is amazing. I mean, you've made it into a real success in the last 5 years, Eric. Maybe if you could tell us a little bit about the history of the villa and what people can expect if they stay up with you in the hills.
Yes. Well, we are at 360 degrees wine estate, so that means that people can come and enjoy the beautiful rolling hills of Tuscany. We have an historical Medici villa. I'm sure that everybody is familiar with the Medici family that ruled here in the 13th, 14th, and 15th and 16th century. I mean, this is a beautiful villa. This is one of the villas. Before it was the farm of the Medici Villa Lappeggi, the villa is right here in the opposite of the hill on the other side. And in the 16th century, it grew and they amplified the villa with a second tower. They walled it in. They made a beautiful courtyard, the terrace overlooking Florence and Italian gardens. And yes, it was the hunting lodge and the farm from the Medici family. And it is a super special place. There's so much history all around, and there are secret catacombs here with wines and everything. And 5 years ago, we started the project and we built all the beautiful private residences, 5 overlooking the dome. They are on a quarter of a mile, half kilometer away from the main villa, but you have a beautiful pool and 5 individual apartments that can be rented out for individual clients or for a family. Super nice. And then we have a small little agriturismo on the side of the villa, very luxurious, with 5 rooms for 10 people with a private pool. And people come and stay and drink wine and wander around and take the car and go on the Vespa going to the Chianti. I mean, this is already the Chianti. So, and if you go over the next hill, you go to the Chianti Classico. And I mean, there's so much to explore here and people come and stay here. And besides that, we also host events, very luxurious events here at the villa, sometimes very small ones for 2 people, 4 people, 10 people. But sometimes also events from 220, 250. And it's a very versatile villa. We can basically do everything. And yeah, I normally see all the joy and the parties and the people come for wines and the hospitality. So our team has been growing in the last 5 years, tremendous. And the product was so successful that we opened a very beautiful residence downtown Florence, which is called the Peruzzi Residences. I don't know, that is beautiful. It is officially categorized as a bed and breakfast, but it is more a very luxurious home with enormous big suites that people can stay over. And yeah, people can come and stay with us and enjoy the beauty that Italy has to offer.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I've been very fortunate, Eric, that I've stayed with you up at Villa Medicea di Lilliano, and it is a glorious spot because you really are very, very close to Florence. I mean, it's 20 minutes. You cycle occasionally, right? I mean, you cycle.
That's right. Nowadays, it gets a little hot. It's like 30, 35 degrees, and the first heat wave, it's like, oh, so hot. But no, I love to cycle. And, it is only 7 miles, 11 kilometers. I'm originally Dutch, so I'm used to be on the bike, but I'm not used to the hills.
Although you've got used to the hills now because you've been living in Florence for a long time. You're like me. You're a long timer, in Florence. How long have you been here, Eric? And explain to us what brought you to Florence originally and what makes you stay as well.
On the 1st of July, I'm here 14 years.
Congratulations.
And no, the most wonderful thing was that from the Netherlands, I moved working in America. I was an officer on the cruise ship, and I met the love of my life, and I needed to move to Florence. And that's how I ended up here. And the first 7 years, I run a very nice boutique hotel in the Chianti, further in the Chianti. And then the beautiful family Malanchini asked me to come and help their team and set up this product and set up this villa with the private residences and start all the parties. And we could never hope that so many people came to celebrate and to stay and to drink wine and, you know, music, and it is fantastic. So yeah, it is absolutely fantastic of being here in a beautiful environment, working in a Medici villa every single day.
I mean, it really is wonderful. And the terrace that you have, I mean, I just have this lasting memory of you know, coming up to you. I've been up on several occasions now, but there's a terrace that's sort of set above an Italian courtyard garden that sweeps out and has this view of the Duomo that's quite unique. And you've hosted, well, not you personally, but in the past, the villa hosted royalty as well, didn't it? Didn't a king?
Yes. Back in the history, when they amplified the villa and the villa was completely ready, they invited the King of Denmark on that terrace, and they had lovely gatherings at that time. And nowadays, on the same terrace, we have events, we have parties, we have gatherings, we have beautiful drinks. Tomorrow we have a very nice DJ there with all drinks and lots of wine, of course. But every single time, like the first time I remember I came to the villa, and you know, you come into the villa and you actually don't see the villa from far away. There's a street with a wall, and you think, where am I going? And you go inside the palace, and still sometimes I need to pinch myself, because you come on that terrace, you don't see any industry, you see only beauty. You see the 70 hectares of land of the Malanchini family with their olive oil, with their olive groves and their vineyards. And then you see the dome right there. I mean, unique. I mean, sometimes I need to pinch myself. Is this real? You know, so that is super nice.
It's fantastic. And you know, what's made the villa so successful is the fact that you've almost become like a hub for the international community. I mean, right now we're a bit, you know, most of us are still here. Obviously, we're waiting for our international visitors to come back, because the situation has improved dramatically in Italy. We really have learnt to live with this pandemic. That's what the figures are showing us. Mm-hmm. So maybe Eric, explain to us a little bit about how, you know, you've become a hub for the international community, and you've hosted community events, you know, various book readings and wedding fairs and things like that. Maybe just explain a little bit about how you see the villa's role for Florence's international people.
What is very nice is the villa is, first of all, it is a very intimate villa. So it has different spaces where you can create your own flow. So if you have a kind of book presentation, what we have done in the past, it's very intimate to do in the granaio. The granaio is the granary where they store the grain in the past. It's very intimate for like 50, 60 people. It's superb. But like, for example, we did a very nice, I don't know where I can say the brand, but we had a very nice presentation of luxury car brands, and we opened the garden, and then in the middle of the garden, you had lovely, the presentation of the cars, and we have hosted parties from a famous fashion brand. What we always do is also like, we had together with some friends of the community, we do benefit galas in order to save money for the children's hospital or for other good wills. So, you know, it is whatever comes first comes in. And sometimes it goes so fast. And this year, of course, we're super sad because, you know, from all the events, like 90% of all the events that we plan to do this year, they all postponed to next year. It was a very big job because obviously we needed to talk to all the guests and the clients and to try to find the best way of accommodating them. But yes, we did the most wonderful events for like a very nice cosmetic brand, very luxurious from America, and with hot air balloons and like helicopters came, and we can do everything.
We have a message here from Monica Dan, who says, I did book the villa for my husband's 50th. Sadly, we did not manage to come, but as soon as safely possible, we will make up for it. Eric, thank you for your kindness and presentation. So people are still
nice
about, Tuscany, and thinking about, the people who make a difference. And that's what hospitality is all about, right? It's you being the face of the villa and the Melanchini family and their heritage and their history. And all together, you've created this unique place where people can come and experience Tuscany at its most authentic. So I don't know if you'd like to reply to Monica, maybe.
Yes, no, I mean, we love all the guests and we love to accommodate everybody and we love to make people happy. And the team that we created over the years, it's a very international team. We have Italians, we have people from Argentina, we have people from Albania working for us, we have people from Australia working for us. So, we are a very international team, very dynamic. And, what we do in the hospitality, I think one thing is that you should always be yourself and you should communicate your love for hospitality. So, we go the extra mile. We try to make the clients happy, even if the time is up, like somebody calls me and, we are available on the phone or over WhatsApp. So I think that is very, very important that you create that difference in hospitality.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, some of the places, where we've stayed in our lifetimes, what you remember more than anything is the people that you meet.
Absolutely,
when you
yes. And the most of the time after an event or after a wedding, the clients that leave and they stay in your mind, and after 2-3 years they come back and it's like, oh my God, it was so beautiful and it was so fun and this happened and this happened. So all the stories, I mean, obviously where we host big events and people gathering and having an extra glass of wine, things happen and very funny things happen. So I'm very happy about that. Yes.
Maybe Jane's our director in the background. Perhaps Jane, if you could show us some of the photos of Villa Liliana, that we can. I mean, it's absolutely glorious. There we are.
So this is what you see. You see the terrace with a setup for a ceremony overlooking the dome, and you see all the olive groves on both sides.
Yep.
And this is the garden on the other side of the palace that overlooks the Chianti. Here in this picture, it looks a little small, but it is a very big garden. We can host over like 500 people in that garden. So the pool at the apartments. And this is how the rooms look like. I mean, it feels like being in a hotel, but you are actually on a farm and you are having your own private residence. And, it needs to be comfortable. It needs to be fresh. It needs to be new. So, yeah, all the decoration has been done by the cousins from the Italian Melanchini family, by Fernando Melanchini, Pondal Melanchini. They designed everything and they have this fresh and young approach. So it's not like old and like, yeah.
And it's also, I remember the scent of the rooms. I mean, this is the attention to detail, that people remember. Yeah. I remember the beautiful aroma. Maybe explain, that you actually use local perfumery businesses, right, to add that extra.
Yes, yeah. We have a collaboration with Flor. Aqua Flor Profumeria. It's a historical brand that produces perfume and creams and scents. And, as soon as you come in the office, as soon as you come in the reception and you go to your house, you have that sense. And most of the people love it. And some people put it outside, but I personally love it. And, it's a very nice product.
No, I mean, the rooms are incredibly fresh, aren't they, and very comfortable. And, I know you care about the level of detail of the bed linens and all of the research that goes into, choosing the right mattresses and everything. It really is, I find it incredible, the amount of thought and detail that goes into, making a hotel an incredible stay. So I always appreciate that, Eric, whenever I stay anywhere as well. So, I mean, these are wonderful things. This summer, obviously, is incredibly challenging for everybody all around the world at this stage. But in Italy, we depend very heavily on tourism. But you guys are very good at reinventing yourselves, no? So you've come up with an event series that's very interesting, that's sort of aimed at the resident Italians, but also, international people who want to have a taste of Italian cinema, things they've maybe not seen before. Maybe, Eric, if you could explain what Cinema di Vino is all about.
Well, we're very unlucky to postpone all the beautiful events to next year. And that's why we needed to come up with something to host in our villa. So last weekend, we had a lovely, lovely bike group that occupied the entire apartments and villas. And they all came with masks. And as soon as they went on the bike, they could take off the masks. But it was very fun. But back to the cinema. The thing is that we wanted to reinvent something. And, we are an event location that we are very versatile. We can do everything. So with our supplier, GB Audio, who is responsible for all the light and the design and the screen, we put something together of 6 evenings to host beautiful Italian films in the original language on the screen. And local people, also from Florence, they can come up, they can come and drink wine. They can come for the tagliere, of course, with the salumi, which is very nice. And so the first one, the kickoff will be tomorrow. So tomorrow we have booked over 100 people, I think. Some people called me today on the phone like, oh, I couldn't book. Like, can I sign up anyway? Can I pay at the door? But this is a thing that I think that is very new. I mean, it is not so easy. I mean, I tell you about the organization to get the film here. It was not very easy. With all the legislation and with the music tax and this kind of things. But we did it. And I think this is a great new way of showing the villa what the possibilities are in the villa.
No, I mean, it's wonderful. This is things you've always hosted really amazing events that are, not just weddings. I know that's your main income is from, the corporate events, the weddings and everything else. But you've always been very creative in coming up with events for the community. I mean, I'm thinking back to your opera Under the Stars.
Oh, yeah, that was also very nice. I love that too, And now also, because this year we don't have all these beautiful events, now I just saw a comment from Diana van Lid. Hi, Diana. Glad to see you.
There you go, my most creative and beloved Italian-Dutch friend, Eric. Yes. You can do anything you put your mind to. So there you go.
Lovely, yes.
From around the world.
Yes. No, the thing is that I think that is very nice. I mean, we have weddings, but I think that the cinema is super nice to go. What we also invented together with one of our suppliers, our catering, this will be communicated tomorrow or the day after. We're going to have 2 evenings in July that people can come and see the sunset and have dinner and a kind of a picnic that we organize. So that is also a fun thing to do. And then in the pipeline for September, we host an amazing, one of the top 3 violinists in the world is coming to our property. And we're going to have a Saturday evening concert and a Sunday morning concert. And that is being connected with a dinner afterwards and lunch after the concert on Sunday. So that is a very nice thing that we initiated. And Danzu is one of the most famous violinists in the world that is coming to our property to do this concert together with his pianist. and we are very happy to open the doors for that. We're still looking for a sponsor. So if somebody is interested in sponsoring this event, we are very, 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 very grateful for that.
I love how you're so good at your job, Eric. This is the thing, it's all about collaboration and working together right now. And I mean, I'm sure you're seeing the things that are going on, apart from obviously your work, your job at the villa. I mean, people are coming together. There's all sorts of invention, various restaurants that have moved from their closed spaces up onto hotel roofs, and everybody's using the outdoor space a lot more. And this is something that, gives me great hope for Italy in the middle of this pandemic, is the incredible genius, the creativity that's going to come out from everybody. And it's an honor almost to be here, right, Eric, and see the way that everybody is sort of coming up with all these ideas.
That is the most wonderful thing, I mean, I was in March in lockdown. I was in my house. I have a small apartment, and I was thinking, what should we do? What do we need to do? And I called the owner, the Malanchini, Diletta Malanchini. I'm very close to her. She is the winemaker of the estate. And I said, we need to do something. We need to do something. And when I called the suppliers that we have, I mean, whatever supplier I called, they say, Eric, we are on board. We going ahead. So it is really wonderful to work with professional people and professional suppliers. So that is like, that is like the key of hospitality. It should be perfect.
No, it's true. I mean, this is we're just, we're chatting in our separate locations right now, and people are just tuning in from all around the world. Deborah has just written, I'm so happy to have found this community where I can enjoy learning and living vicariously through such creative and passionate people. And she's American, but Italian at heart. And I think that's something that's all emerging from all of us. I've never felt prouder than to be in Italy right now and to be able to participate in this effort, all together, trying to, bring Italy back to life. Not,
I'm as a Dutch citizen, I think that living in Italy, I'm so proud what Italy did. They were very honest, but also the healthcare and the service and whatever Italy did to make this work. I mean, they were very careful. We were one of the first ones in lockdown, and it was terrible, but we survived, and that was amazing. And I think that as a Dutch citizen, I'm so proud what Italy did and how they managed this whole pandemic. And now slowly we opening up with, of course, the security measures. But here in Tuscany, I mean, we are pretty safe with the pandemic. We have almost zero people with corona, which I think it's fantastic. But that is also thanks to this lockdown and immediately the activity in the beginning. So my compliments to Italy.
No, I couldn't agree more. And I think it's worth throwing out there for people watching us around the world that actually Tuscany, right from the beginning of this pandemic, guaranteed free healthcare for anybody who fell ill with coronavirus right from the beginning. And that really says a lot about the sense of humanism and humanity that Tuscany does. It cares about the world, it cares about its visitors, and they did that right from the beginning. So,
I remember one funny story about health system. I had planned a wedding for the afternoon at 4:00. And at 1:00, I get a phone call that a gentleman fell on the road. So I'm going in my car down to the road to the Gracina. I find his husband with his thumb sticking out his bone. I'm driving him to the hospital. I'm going to the first aid. They help him immediately. I say, look, listen, this is the father of the bride. They're going to get married at 4:00. Everything stopped. They helped him. They helped him for 25 euros. They called me. I picked him up, and he was on time for the wedding. No, that was incredible. 25 euro for the service.
And the standard is exceptional. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
it's
spoken about
fantastic.
this a lot about the healthcare in Tuscany. I couldn't speak higher about it. So anyway, let's get back to the wine, Eric. You know, the
more wine.
important things. Can you tell me a little bit about the wine? What sort of wine you make? Diletta makes, and you know, I love your rosato, your rosé wine, for example, but you make all sorts of wine, don't you? Maybe explain a little bit, and there's a link here in case anybody's tempted to actually, you know, buy a couple of them.
Absolutely, yes. So the thing is that the Florentine, we're very happy we are in this talk now, but actually you promised me to be in the garden with red wine in our hands, close to our apartments. And then yesterday you said, I'm so sorry I cannot come. But like, I was so disappointed. But anyway, next week, I promise you, we're going to make up for it. Back to the wines. The wines that we produce here, of course, we are in the hills around Florence. So we are producing a Chianti Colli Fiorentini, a beautiful Chianti wine. Most of the Chianti wines are made with 80% of Sangiovese. It's a wine that is very pronounced. It's very soft. It's very elegant. And many times, the red wine is not being liked by women. But this wine has a specific gentle touch. And we have very strong, heavy wines like Cabernet Sauvignon. We have a very typical grape, Canaiolo, that has been made 100% Canaiolo, very, very nice for the summer. These are red wines. But we have also white wine. We have rosé wine, sparkling wine. And most of the time people come here, they ship it back home. I mean, we have, of course, a wine shop online. So in case people would like to buy the wines, I mean, the link is there. So we love to sell more in this period. And then if you drink the wine at home, there's always a reason to come and visit us. Because you smell the passion and the fruit that from the Tuscan hills. I mean, it is fantastic wine. It is very nice, balanced. And I think that with this 8, maybe 9 etiquettes that we have now, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. I only drink Malanchini wine at home.
You're a good ambassador, Eric. I mean, yeah. I remember I came up to yours and we had a tasting. I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago. And, you know, obviously Malanchini have been producing wine for a long time now. But the generosity of Diletta was she actually organised a wine tasting with 4 other producers from the Chianti Colli Fiorentini. And we had a wonderful tasting because it's a community, right? I mean, this is the thing about the wine world is that, you know, everybody, you know, not everybody gets on, obviously, but there is a sense of you represent your area. And the Chianti Colli Fiorentino area is interesting because, you know, we have Chianti Classico, which is the famous Black Rooster wine that everybody knows. And then we have the smaller areas like Chianti Rufino, where I live, and Chianti Colli Fiorentino, which is, I call it the front line. So it's like the first wine area near Florence. And it has this incredible, I find it very earnest. Yes. Yeah, they're very direct, very honest. It has this beautiful little twinkle to it. It's like it's winking at you, these wines. And that's what I find so very genuine about your wines, about Malanchini's wines and that area. So sorry I've gone off on one, but as people know, I do love to talk about wine.
I remember that your parents came to the villa and we offered them a glass of red wine and your mother loved it.
She did. It was a lovely, I remember we had soup and sat in the old kitchen, and we had a lovely chat. I think it was pumpkin soup with your own olive oil as well, because oil too. So happy memories.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's probably what, you know, people are writing in, and lots of people have already stayed, and I'm sure you have a lot of returning guests, right, Eric? People who come back on a regular basis.
Absolutely. We every year you know, what is very funny is that people stay in contact on our social media platforms and they see the things coming. And it started off as a kind of a joke, like, okay, I make some pictures. And then I got a very nice phone from the company and I start making pictures everywhere. And, you know, and that is how you keep the brand alive. And you can really, like, you know, even if people book your villa or they come for an event or they come for a wedding, I mean, they live through the fact that they are coming. Yeah. And, you know, that is so nice. And that's how you have repetitive clients all the time, and they come back and they remember their time here and beautiful memories of the villa, the events that they had. So yeah, that's so funny. Yeah.
It's say a few hugs from Buenos Aires, Mandy, to hi Eric, and to you and the Florentine staff. So hello.
Oh, hi Andy. How are you?
Chris says ciao. So good to see you. That's nice.
Yes.
Good
we miss her. We miss her. Where is she gone?
She'll come back. Hello from New York City. Good morning from Lincoln, California. Good morning, California. I always love it when we do these live.
Absolutely. I see somebody also from South Africa. It's one fantastic. Yes, everybody tapped in. Yes.
And hello from Chicago. So we've got a good international crowd. So
absolutely.
One last thing, Eric. We mentioned about Terrace residences. I mean, you've done events there, right? I know you've done like a wine qualification course, and you had a launch party and everything else. I mean, it really is in a lovely area. It's Santa Croce, but tucked away in a beautiful little square, and it's beautifully decorated. And you do see the same style, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Liliana and Terrace.
Correct.
I mean, it's even harder, I suppose, with the city at the moment. But I mean, what have you got planned? Have you got plans coming up for Terrace, or you're promoting all the Tuscany villa at this stage?
At this moment, I think I see that people in the month of June, they're still a little careful. So they prefer a country villa or a country residence than to be in the city. But slowly over the weekends, I see that lots of reservations come in for Terrace residences. The prices are not as high. I mean, they're very nice prices at the moment, actually. But you know, you try to keep the brand alive, and you know, you cannot pretend that you would like to have a 400 or 350 euros for a room. So you want to be more known and that people come. And we see that in the weekends, we still have some reservations in Terrace. But I see now that there is a big crowd coming in July and August. All my Dutch friends and my German friends and people from France that are booking. So yes, this is like the international plates. Everybody comes here. So it is really nice. And this palace in the center is unique because, you know, you basically walk down the palace and you are in the busiest streets with shops, with markets and restaurants. And, you know, if you are in the room, I mean, it's so quiet. It's a beautiful palace. Yeah.
No, it's lovely. And, you know, I apologize to our American friends who are tuning in, you know, because we don't know when you'll be able to come back. We do hope it will be soon.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, you know, Florence is magical. I mean, it was incredibly sad. I'm sure a lot of you saw the empty photos, but actually, I mean, I was in Florence on Thursday evening, for example, and it was busy. People were, you know, minding their own business. They were keeping away from one another. I know there are certain places where people are gathering a little bit too much, guys. But, you know, there is this sense of Florence is coming back to life, right?
Alcohol disinfects.
We're all right in the countryside, though. But yeah, but you know, there is this sense that Florence is. We'll never probably see it like this again, and you know, none of us want it to go back to that level of over tourism. We want quality tourism, right, Eric? And that's what you guys have been promoting for years. You know, that sort of a deeper experience.
Yes. No, that is for us. For us, is fundamental. I mean, obviously, we want to give a high quality product, but also we want people to have a great experience in Florence with high quality guides, with high quality service. So that is for us fundamental. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap it up with Eric, just to say that you've generously offered a 5% discount and for the Florentine readers to stay at the Villa Medicea di Lilliano. So I hope TF people, you will make the most of Eric's hospitality and go up there and drink a glass of wine with Eric until I manage to get up there and join.
Well, you promised me you come for the next cinema night next Thursday.
I know, it's in my diary. It's in my diary.
Everybody is invited, so please come. And you know, the garden is so big and you are safe, and come and have a glass of wine and enjoy an Italian movie in the gardens overlooking the Chianti.
We'll finish with a comment from Mitzi, who says, when I travel to Florence, I stay for several weeks at a time. It's magical. Mitzi, you are very welcome, and we hope that you'll be joining us again very soon in this beautiful city and beautiful Tuscany, which right now is warm, it's hot, it's the summer. I'm wearing my summer hat.
Yes.
So please do come back and join us, and Eric is waiting for you up at his marvelous villa. Thank you for joining us, and we'll speak again soon. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Helen. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
Goodbye.